Welcome to Dime to Diamonds. I'm Suzanne Porsky.
And I'm Mark Farquhar. This is being brought to you by Phoenix Financial Group, your pathway to financial success.
Phoenix Financial Group provides full service solutions for all your financial needs.
We aim to be your comprehensive financial services provider, offering everything you need in one place.
Welcome back to Dime to Diamonds.
Hey, good morning. I'm Mark Farquhar.
And I'm Suzanne Porsky.
The Dimestone Cowgirl.
All right. You just come back from a phenomenal week.
Yes,
in Florida.
On the beach, had a family wedding, so it was a lot of fun.
Just a small party of 25 and a VRBO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, had air AC go out. We all got sick, but other than that, it was still a good time.
And got him married.
I know, it's cool.
Is that just amazing?
Yeah, it's cool to have a new daughter, a daughter-in-law, Kate. So she's awesome.
So Kate and Kate, where are they going on their honeymoon?
They're going on a cruise, so they leave here in a couple days. So
I love how you've taken some of the blogs we've done and you've really incorporated them in your conversations with your family, with the kids.
Yeah, we did. In fact, we talk about estate planning, and we actually took all of our got all the kids together, and we did all their power of attorneys and medical directives, because we explained to them why, that they're adults and there's nobody there to making those decisions for them. So we got all their paperwork done together, and they kind of got a lesson on why those items are so important. So.
Right. And what he's talking about is durable power of attorney. So if you yourself, of course, or your children are over the age of 18, and even before that, if you're married and then you've divorced and so your children maybe split between the two houses, when you have a durable power of attorney, let me back up and tell you, there's 3 types of power of attorneys. There is your standard power of attorney. That is if you're totally capable and say you're going out of town. I did that a lot when I worked at Bank of America for our soldiers that were out at 29 Palms. If they had an assignment and they were called out of the country, they would bring in a mom or a sister and give a power of attorney so they could take care of financial affairs. There's a springing power of attorney, which basically we see that, I've seen it a lot with elderly people that are traveling, going on cruises, and they'll give it to a neighbor or somebody. It's just for a specific time. Again, they're fully capable and have all their capacities. A durable power of attorney is the only power of attorney that works when you're incapacitated.
Right.
So we've had some life stories, and we've talked about it here before, where you have a child that's away at college and something happens to them medically, whether it's an accident or an illness. And the family, I think we talked about before here, the daughter was in a horrible car accident away at college back east. The father of the daughter, father of that girl, had a durable power of attorney. The mother here did not know that and didn't have it. The girl was on life support because the accident was so bad, and they knew she wasn't going to make it. That father went ahead and pulled life support before we could even get plane tickets to get the mother back there to say goodbye. So that really lit a fire under us to say, if you have a child that's 18 or older, you need to get a durable power of attorney. Right. And as adults, we need them. Look at COVID.
Yeah.
Just because you're married does not mean that you have authority over that. I just talked to a client yesterday. Her husband, they were married, I want to say 3.5 years. He was in an ATV accident, and he TBI, and I want to say he's passed away and come back a few times. And his wife was there by his side at the hospital until she couldn't be because she had to go back to work. Her mother-in-law flew in, who she hadn't seen since the wedding, and she took over and started talking to the doctor saying, "This is my son." Well, make a super long story short, the mother directed the doctors and was talking to her son who had this TBI, and just said, this wife of yours is working against you, etc. Now they're just finishing up the divorce this week, unfortunately. The man doesn't remember, the young boy, he's in his 30s, doesn't remember being married, doesn't remember any of that stuff. The doctors listened to the mother, didn't listen to the wife. So I'm glad you had that conversation. I'm glad you have the durable power of attorneys, and super, super important.
Yeah, they are.
Estate planning in general
is very important.
Another thing that came up we wanted to talk about this week is we have people that say, why do I need a financial advisor in my corner? What's the importance of it? And so I've made some notes for us. just the conversations we've had. We had another fantastic appointment yesterday with a family
Right.
that I was telling someone this morning. One of the greatest joys for me is when we can assist somebody to retire,
Right.
whether they're 55. How old is
53, I think.
53?
Yeah.
53. He thinks he wants to work another 5 years. Does he need
Hmm.
to work another day?
No.
Nope. And I have another client I reached out to this morning. He retires at the end of this month. And I
Right.
say, you know how many people this is? It's just a privilege to be able
Right.
to retire. And
Yeah.
it's a privilege on our part to be able to walk them through that. So,
Right.
some of the things I think you want to go over it.
Well, just having that
One.
dedicated financial advisor. I mean, here lately, everything like AI, doing it online, doing all that stuff online and
Right.
on your own is okay to a certain point. But when you're trying to bring everything together, all those variables together, that's in your retirement, you
Right.
need a professional there that's you know in your town or that you can go to and speak to and
Right.
talk to
Answers your
them.
phone
Right,
calls.
right, right,
Answers your phone calls and doesn't just
right.
take a message or you're not at a switchboard.
And then somebody's going to meet with you annually because just because when you retire doesn't mean it's over. I mean, you're going to have to
I don't want
meet
to give
every
anybody
year.
any hope that we just talk to you annually because we're pretty much on your case.
Sure, yeah,
We're keeping in touch with you on a weekly basis and having events and educating. But
right,
yes, dedicated one on one minimum of every single year.
right.
But I really think you and I touch base at least quarterly, if not every 6 months,
Yeah, whether it's
especially in the
email or
beginning.
events, emails, face to face. A lot of our clients, we only need to meet with them face to face maybe once or twice a year. But I
Right.
mean, they like it, it's fun because they like coming in and just visiting, and or they get something in the mail, or they have a question. Hey, can I do this? Or I want to go on this
Right.
vacation, and
Can I afford it?
can we talk about it? So
Right. It's just we have financial plans that are, I think, customized to their
right,
circumstances. And
everyone's different.
I'm sure we're talking to all of you that know that your circumstances change all the time. Just had a client in last week, and she, which is going to make me go down a rabbit hole, her father passed away and had a will. And that will stated what he wanted. So it was a big, huge Willy Wonka gold ticket to the judge for probate. That's what it is. A
Yeah,
will is
right.
just here's my money and here's the instructions. So they set up a testamentary trust. So the judge, he picked an attorney that he liked
Mm-hmm.
and said, you're the trustee of this trust for this will. Well, he has dementia now. So the went back to the judge and the judge said, okay, I'm going to pick my other buddy in Texas, this attorney. Well, he broke his back and then in recovery has been diagnosed with dementia.
My goodness.
So the beneficiaries, which is one of our clients,
Mm-hmm.
she comes in and says, what is this? So I called the attorney and he said, yeah, can you find somebody that can be a trustee? How about this? That's a male that lives in Texas. Did you say female or male? He said male. I was like, okay. So my female client said, well, I've got a nephew that is.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had to validate that he was over 40 and blah, blah,
Right.
blah. I say all this to say this is the money that's sitting in there. She had no idea the balance, but we were
Right.
able to find that out. Almost $300,000. And it was her great grandfather's money who left it to her father, who left it to her. And her circumstances changed.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's able to come in and say, one, what is this?
Right.
And who do I call? And we don't know all the answers, but I think what we do know is who to contact
Right.
and how to get the answers. And that's another reason you want a financial advisor in your corner. And you pay as you go. And
Yeah.
like for our office, you don't pay us directly.
Right.
We get paid from the carriers that we run the business through. So
Yeah, we do have that circle of professionals that we can find you. If it's an area that we can't do, we have that person that can do it for you. So,
how about the consolidating reports? I love when we're able,
oh yeah,
you run those reports for us. Put it
right.
on my
Just putting
desk.
everything on, just gathering all your information and putting that on one sheet of organized document for you, so that if something happens to you, you can go here. Here you go. Here's what I have.
I
and
like
then
the
we
big
can
number up
monitor
in
all that
the
with you.
right-hand corner there of
Right.
that page. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what you have.
The accumulated value.
From
Yeah.
all the stuff you put on the
Right.
Excel
Right.
spreadsheet. So,
Yep.
Measuring progress to goals. That's one of my favorite
Yep.
too.
Exactly.
Is just we're able to see where they're at, what their goals are. And we did have a client that called and she said, "Oh my gosh, I just got a check for $25,000. I didn't realize I had an aunt or a great aunt, and
Mm-hmm.
the attorney sent me this 25,000. What do I do?" Well, because I know her finances, and it's all right there on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
She said, "What account should I put it in?" Well, you have something on your bucket list.
Yeah.
You wanted to go to Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
and you wanted to see the turtles and take pictures.
Yeah. Does your brokerage person in Connecticut know that when you call? You know, I'm trying to say, when you call them and go, "Hey, I got this $25,000. Where should I put it?" I mean, it's gonna. They don't. I mean, nothing against them. They just don't know.
Well, they're transactional.
Yeah. Right.
We're relational.
Right.
I think if we had to say anything, is we are relational. So if you want to buy a new Corvette and you're at the at a car show and you call me and say, "I want to move money and buy a Corvette," we're going to talk. It might not be in the best interest. You might not be thinking about all the other things, which is, where are you going to, what garage are you putting it in?
Mm-hmm.
How much insurance? So
insurance and all that good stuff.
Advice concerning charitable giving. I think
Right.
that's really, people kind of overlook that. That's on their heart. They say, "Oh, I want to give my kids or grandkids
Mm-hmm.
money,"
Right.
and
We're seeing that lately where
mm-hmm.
they're wanting to leave a legacy for their kids. So
Right.
yeah, we can definitely help you. That's just another discussion and what you want to do with it, and
Right.
and we'll have the outlets to help you funnel
And
it
college
to it.
planning.
Yeah. Right.
The 529s have so many more nuances now than they've ever had.
Right.
So we've had people that come in. Of course, estate planning, that just
Yep.
gets me going. I talked to somebody this morning. She's in the UK, and she just won some awards. It was in a newspaper over here. She does the paying for the whole funeral.
Okay.
She does that part.
Okay.
Man, I think that's an area that we really need to. I think it's one of the last key pieces that you and I need
Right.
to do for our clients. Because I think of our client who said that once her husband passed away and they went to go to where they paid for the funeral years
Right.
ago, you're in brain mush.
Mm-hmm.
And they want information from her. And she's like, "I don't know. I just
Right.
know we bought it and paid for it. Here's
Yeah.
my name." So if we could, we'll
And
have to
that's
do that.
one of those hard deals to deal with for family members, is trying to figure out, did they have a plan, or did they pay for something? And sometimes if they don't know, it's a shame that they have to go and
Right.
purchase another one. So anyway.
And help for other family members.
Yeah.
How many times have we been called and they ask us, unfortunately, my child's going through divorce.
Right.
What's some advice? Or, come in, let's talk. Let's see.
Yeah.
There'll be settlement of 401k. I had somebody call yesterday and she said, "Okay, out of 110,000 I'm getting out of my ex-husband's 401k, I want to pay off my vehicle of 21,600. Okay, well, we have to take 48,000 out because of your taxes and penalties,
Mm-hmm.
because you're in your 30s, you're not 59 and a half, so you have 10%, then you have federal and you have state." And she said, "Okay, so we're going to leave that alone."
Yeah, we deal with that a lot. I got a call earlier this week about that, saying, "Hey, we just want to liquidate that. We got to buy a new air conditioner." And I'm like, and I think they're 42. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. I mean, you don't want to do that. So,
well, yeah, it's just, I don't think they think like
Right.
we do. We're in that wheelhouse.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's just another reason to have an advisor that
Right.
can help you with those kind of situations. So
I wanted to touch on the appointment yesterday, and we were talking about maxing out 401ks. I know we've touched on it before, but
Right.
I think it's still something that needs to be brought up over and over.
free money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was yesterday? What do you say? They match 6%.
6%. Yeah.
So if he puts in 1,000 at 6% of his check, how much does he make? 100%.
Yeah.
It's 6%. You're getting 100%
And then you're
rate of
taking
return.
that tax liability off that.
Yes,
that
and then you're
amount too,
reducing your taxes.
Right.
It's just a total win-win.
Exactly.
They grow bigger faster
Yeah,
because of the compounding
Right. And that's
and the tax deferral.
right. And it's just, I don't know. It's hard because you're trying to, some people don't want to do it because they don't want to save money. And then you're sitting there going, I can't believe they don't want to do this because it's free money you're missing out on. So
It's
everybody
free
should max
money.
that out no matter what. So,
And 9 times out of 10, we don't like to encourage it, but you can
mhm.
borrow it.
Right.
You can borrow it. And if you're borrowing your own money, then you're not receiving that tax implication.
Right.
That's a whole other episode of just borrowing your own money.
Right.
Because it's not coming in on your tax return under income.
Right.
So it's
Good
just
point.
borrowing it at a very low rate, 2
Right.
or 3%. So,
Right.
but it goes back to planning.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of what I read. Planning is not to, oh, maybe it's on here. It's not to reduce you. Budgeting isn't about limiting what you spend. It's about empowering you with your income.
Right.
And having more purpose with your income.
Right.
You say budget to people, and it's like saying a diet. You watch people just shiver. They're like,
I know,
restraints, especially my kind of personality. I'm a free bird type thing.
Right. But it's amazing when you show people how much you're spending at Starbucks every month. We see $200, $250 a month, and you're like, I don't know. I mean, it's just, I think it's good for people to look at that every year to find out where's your money going. Because personally, sometimes it's like, if you don't keep track of that, it's amazing.
I'm confession here. The monthly fees for Paramount Plus, Netflix, Apple TV, all that stuff. I glance at that sometimes and I'm like, I don't want to see all the monthly fees. Now, if we're using it,
yeah,
absolutely. We have free TV. So, we don't pay a provider.
Right. But it is.
So Rifleman and Gunsmoke is on quite a bit.
That's on antenna. You don't have to pay for that.
I know. I'm telling you, we have free TV, and that's in our house. My husband's like, I am not paying to watch the local channels. No, it's not happening. Right. We don't really have it on that much anyways, but feeling under the weather this last, week or so on the downtime, we've had it. And, hey,
nothing like those old shows. Those are good. Really good.
Came in the other day, and she was gut laughing. I said, what is she laughing at? And he said, oh, we're watching Rifleman. And she thinks it's pretty funny, that horse. I'm like, okay, well, starting them young. So, hey, one of the blogs that we just posted was the 6 things that I think it's this blog, 6 things that we teach our
kids. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's right.
What's the first one?
Value of summer jobs and internships. I think those are very important. I want my kids to get out. I want your kids to get out and meet people. And kind of use that as a networking opportunities. I mean, if you're out there waiting tables, think of the people you're going to meet. You might meet some person that likes, if you do a good job for them, they may give you another opportunity.
Well, there's business owners like us that are constantly looking.
Right.
And also getting an idea of what we like, what we don't.
And I think, doing the blogging and the, Instagram and the TikToks and all that's really, I mean, I know people make money at it, but I still think it's important for the kids to have those summer jobs, internships, so that they
can networking,
circulate, get out and meet with people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because we know how important that is with our business. If we just sit in our office and
I'd go crazy.
Well, I know we'd go crazy, but nothing's going to happen. I mean, that's when we have to be out. And it's the same for kids. They need to.
There's a reality because I've been with the people, some of them that are so social media, they're influencers, and then you get around them and they can't hold a conversation because they're used to talking at the camera and having that relationship of what they're projecting instead of the reality of what. Right. So I think a healthy balance with everything.
Learn how to speak to another person. I mean, that sounds funny, but I mean, that's what's come to is.
And trying to hire people for so long, it was just, I was having a problem. They just wanted to text or email. And I was like, I need you to come in. Mm-hmm. I need to see your face. We need to interact. Right. Sweet typing skills on responding, but you need to. And then I just realized, which I'm glad our state has changed a law now, but I didn't realize handwriting. I handwrite everything.
Oh, yeah.
Cursive.
They took cursive out of the schools. I don't know.
They did. Now they put it back in. Yeah. It looks like they're trying to get it back in. But so it's nice just to have somebody come in and say, so all your handwriting on all those notes, I'm not getting it. I was like, oh, man. But I don't know if we would have had that conversation through texting.
Yeah.
That's my point there. Right. So I think another thing to teach children is how to understand their paycheck, that every single line has got a purpose.
Right.
Every
Very
one of them.
important.
Those letters FICA,
I know.
and the
Yeah.
taxes
Very
and those
important.
SSI, all that stuff is very important.
Right. And all that's available to them. Just get on their app or online, and it's a good thing to go over with them so they know exactly, I
Right.
mean, where their money's going. So,
Right. And like we talked about budgeting,
mhm.
it's not about limiting what you spend. It's about empowering your income to do
Right.
more with a purpose.
Right.
I think that's really.
And when the kids get those good habits of
Mhm.
budgeting now, it's so much easier. It's hard. It's easier to get a 20-something-year-old to budget versus, a 50-year-old coming in saying, what's, because
Right.
it's hard for them to give that up. If you put it in your system early,
Mhm.
it'll be a lot easier for them to
I know my
stick with it.
son-in-law, he got a job at ONG, and his father had said, "I'll refer you here, like I'll recommend you,
Hmm.
but the only way I'll do it is if you put X amount of dollars away every paycheck." And he said, "Man, I rolled my eyes and I kicked and screamed, but I wanted a good job. I wanted
Yeah.
to really sink my teeth into something where it had benefits and a retirement plan, so I did it." Man, I was so proud of him because when he did leave to go take his dream job, his career
Hmm.
job as a Tulsa fireman, huge cut in pay, but he had a huge nest egg built
Right.
for his age.
Right.
And he said, "Man, that was the one of the
Best
greatest things
advice ever. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
advice he gave me."
Yep.
And we've been managing that now for about 10 years, and it's just
Hmm.
watching it grow.
Hmm.
And it's important.
It's
So
good. It
budgeting
is
is
very.
definitely, yes, the next one.
Use credit strategically. Yep. That's
It's
huge because
not an
it's
emergency
not.
fund.
Yeah, and it's not fun money. It's I I call it a tool.
Mhm.
Uh, I mean, it's just very important. I mean, nowadays it's like you have to have that credit to do anything. If you want to rent a car, if you want to rent or purchase a house, you have to have it.
Life insurance.
Yeah,
They now do a
yeah,
credit score.
yeah. They grade you on that, even on your auto and home,
DirecTV, when I'd first
cell phones,
yeah, it was
everything.
probably about 7 years ago. In a car, no, it wasn't that long. Yeah, we were in a car accident, and my phone got totaled in the car accident. Went in, and AT&T said, "Hey, you can qualify for DirecTV."
Hmm.
So I thought I'd bring that into the marriage, get them off the antenna. So for $35 a month, so they run it, and my husband had no credit,
Yeah,
and he goes, "No, I don't believe in debt."
yeah.
Okay, well, you have no credit, so that's just as bad as having bad credit.
I think that used to work, but I mean, man, I make my kids, or if a young person asks me, go, hey, go get a credit card, buy your
Yeah.
gas and pay it off,
Yep.
or go to the store, or pay a bill and pay it off,
Right.
and that's it.
Well,
And
like we
just
have
have
out
it
here at
there.
Casey's.
Hmm.
Use it,
Yeah.
then you get points, then you get free pizza and other fun stuff from there,
Right.
and pay it
Yeah.
off every month.
Yeah.
Don't pay the
Yeah.
fees on it. So,
Exactly.
and then like we were talking, network. Definitely get them involved on the campus if
Very
they're going to
important.
college.
Yes. Very
Didn't you
important.
say that Kylie was doing that?
Yeah. My daughter, she plays lacrosse in college, and that's good for her. She's got that little niche of friends. But she's still wanting to do more. So she did a sorority, and
Yeah.
she's just loving it, meeting all kind of new people, and then it's just kind of another. She has her lacrosse girls, and
Mhm.
then she has a whole nother group of girls that don't play
Right.
lacrosse, but it's a whole nother group of
And those are
girls that she can get a
relationships
hold
I
of.
think that'll last a lifetime,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you can build on them.
right.
Because I look back at some of my friends,
Hmm.
high school, college, all that.
Yeah, you want to expand out. All your high school friends are great and stuff, but you want to expand out and get a whole nother group. I still talk to some of my high school friends, but I mean, it's
You go
the
through
closest
seasons,
ones. Yeah, yeah, you do, but it's good, definitely good for them to get out and meet,
and again, network.
find that person they're going to surround themselves to make them better. So
Right.
anyway,
I'm going to circle back talking about a trust because we have
okay,
people that will ask us about a trust.
right,
You know, we predominantly do revocable trust, meaning that you can revoke and change it at any time.
right,
A revocable trust is a trust in which the grantor retains complete and total control. The grantor or
hmm,
grantors, a husband and wife, they keep and have total control. They can reclaim property that's been placed in the trust at any time.
right,
Irrevocable means, and my grandparents had this, grandma said, "Hey, if anything happens to one of us, um, outside of the other, one of us passes away first, it automatically becomes irrevocable.
Right.
Meaning that no changes can be made.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that. It was revocable as long as both of them were alive and in full
Right.
capacity. And as soon as one of them passed away, it went irrevocable.
Well, usually have those other, the older people get another spouse in there. I mean, the worst story I've ever heard was we had a client that had a big property in Missouri that was been in their family since 100 years or something. And then the mom passed away, and then the dad was still lived for quite a bit longer, but he married another lady. And all of a sudden he became ill all of a sudden. And then my client, it was supposed to go, that land was supposed to go to the three kids,
right,
because they go there every summer. They go there for Christmas, and it was a bunch of land, and that new wife and her family took it over.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of an example of
well, funny
why
you say that
happens.
because, yeah, my grandma passed away, and within 3 weeks, Grandpa said he was getting married
Right.
to a lady at church named Maud.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it hasn't been a month. But him and Grandma had been married for 63 years, and he said, I'm lost.
Yeah.
And it's just a companionship.
Yeah.
So Maud was a little surprised when she married. It was her 5th marriage.
Oh boy.
That everything was irrevocable.
Mm-hmm.
Like she could not
Yeah.
change anything. The marriage didn't last.
Yeah.
But Grandma's wishes, and Grandpa
Right.
lived, let's see, he lived another 8 years after that. But I mean, it basically said the China is to go to this person, everything
Right.
in that trust. And as soon as one passed away, that's the way it
Yeah,
was. And
right.
Maud's hands were completely tied, and she was not real happy about that. And
Right.
so, I mean, a trust is important.
Yeah.
Irrevocable, revocable, whatever.
Right.
I think the big thing that we come with is we have a lot between the two of us, a lot of years of experience. We've seen so much.
Yeah,
I don't think anything surprises me anymore.
No, I think the newest thing lately on the estate planning is, I was talking to someone last night at church, and they were like, "Is a will not good enough? Why do I need a trust? I only have a house." But it's so, well, how much? Then you talk to him, and he's got the house. I think he has 180,000 equity in the house, and it's just, people just need to know it's so important to that we just don't go through that probate, and it doesn't get contested. Especially when you have
Probate
kids, you want stuff to go
yes.
smooth for your kids, for your wife. You want everything just to kind of roll on without any hitches.
Yes, when somebody talks to me and says, "I only have a house,"
Mm-hmm.
and even if it's paid off, somebody has to maintain that house.
Right.
So, like I said, my brother-in-law passed away, and he didn't have anything but a will. But then the will got stolen out of the house before we got there. Will or no will, it still had to go to probate. So you have to get an attorney, you have to go get a judge.
Right.
It's 6 to 9 months. My thing is, who are you putting that burden on to make your payments and take care of that house? Because the only way to sell that house and to transfer title of that or a vehicle is through probate.
Right.
You can't go to the tag agency here or DMV, wherever, and you say, "Hey, this person passed away and I get this vehicle."
Yeah.
No, it has to, nobody wants that liability.
Right.
It has to go through a judge.
Right.
And the judge meets you to open up the case. It meets you for the first trial to put in the newspaper, and then they meet the third time for whoever wants to contest it and come in and say, "Hey, they promised me this and this."
And it's amazing. Even the best families you don't think have any problems, I'm just telling you right now, you think, that wouldn't happen to us, but it happens.
It does happen. Yeah. And so that's where
it's sad, but it happens. So
a trust is absolutely positively in. It's basically can be a one and done.
Yeah.
So, hey, the other thing I noticed we have, I'm going to be sending this out to our clients this week, the new filing requirements for small business owners. I know in TikTok and other platforms, they were talking about this, the beneficial ownership report.
Right.
I talked to a client today who got a letter from a third party saying you're going to be fined.
Wow.
It's true. this is important. FinCEN, so it's FICEN,
Right.
it is a
Financial
real
Crimes
deal,
Enforcement
but
Network. Right.
you've got companies that are taking advantage of that right now, and they're sending these these letters out to small business owners
Right.
that say you have to file. Let us file for you. So give us $150, or this one was $225, and we'll file
Right.
it for you. You don't have to pay that. You just have to you have to go on the website. So it requires that any business owner with more than a 25% direct or indirect interest in a company has to fill out this BOI report, which is filed in the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, so FinCEN.
Right.
It just includes the details as your name, date of birth, address, and other
Pretty simple.
identifying information.
Right.
I can only imagine why, because we have so many people that are opening up fraudulent businesses over here and maybe from other countries.
Exactly.
And they're trying to get a hold of it and document it and get some, it's only to protect us.
Right.
I'm definitely not into all of the different organizations and all that stuff where they're,
it's pretty, they just want pretty simple information. I mean, it doesn't, they're not asking for any documentation on financials or anything like that, I don't believe.
No. Name, date of birth, address, and some other identifying information.
Right.
So our clients, if you're listening to this and you need help with us, you come in, sit down, we'll take care of it for you. We'll sit with you and go on that website with you. Or you can just reach out to us and we can do it while you're on the phone. It aims to increase the transparency and combat money laundering by requiring businesses to disclose the true ownership of the company. The deadline is January 1st, 2025. If you don't, I believe it's $581 a month penalty. Wow. And so we have all kinds of helpful resources. It's also going to be on our blog. You can find that at phx.financial. That's our website. You don't have to do it alone. Like I said, we're here. Yeah, it's $591. Oh, not per month. $591 per day for each violation. Man. So failure to report ownership information. Right? So we have that going out to our clients. And if you want to be on our mailing list, please just register on the website and we'll put you on our mailing list, because stuff like this, that's super timely and very important, that you might not hear on the nightly news. Or if you do, you're wondering how legitimate or if it applies to you, a quick phone call.
And you don't want to pay one of those companies when you don't have to. So, and no telling what they're going to do with your information.
Right. Exactly. This client, which we do for a lot of them, once you retire, you're now going to be taking never before tax money and using that as a paycheck. So you want the tax write-offs. I love to ask people, like we did yesterday, what's your favorite thing to do? What's your favorite hobby? They're trying to find ways to, like a VRBO.
Yeah, right.
You don't do, I don't think, VRBOs for fun, and you don't do it for money making. Tax write-offs, and it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, we've had people do VRBOs, vehicles. If we had a person wanting to do with the Mercedes trucks for businesses, executives, and rent those out, RVs, and it really, I mean, sometimes I'm sitting there going, man, that sounds like a really good idea, but
until you have to service everything.
Yeah. Then when you hear how hard these people are working and all that, it's a little different than what you perceive it as. So you need to look into that stuff.
Right.
You know, the VRBOs, we got clients that have Florida and everywhere. And it's the thing we hear is, they're not booked up. You know, that's tough.
Right.
So,
good idea to have a small business once you retire on a hobby or something fun that you like to do.
Right.
You have to do the filing on it. That's what I've been getting all my phone calls about, is all these companies these small little businesses, whether somebody, like I had a lady, she loves to do quilts and was doing it for people at church. I said, did you want to sell them ever? Let's do a small business. My bestie, Lisa, who she loves to upcycle stuff. Good. If you love to thrift,
right.
Let's open up a small business and you have some tax write-offs.
Right.
And write that, take your mileage and all that stuff. I talked to a lady yesterday. She decided she wanted a little extra income, so house cleaning.
Yeah.
And
there's
so let's
so much out there people could do. So
right. Oh, getting a tax ID number. Your daughter.
pictures.
Yes.
Yeah, wanting to do senior pictures, wedding pictures, whatever, professional pictures. She's going to
Isn't
get
she?
into that.
Is it Kylie Grace
Hmm.
photography?
Yeah,
She I think has found her niche. And
yeah,
your
she did a good job.
boys, the video that was made.
I know they. I don't know where they get it from. It's not me.
I know, but that's just the point I'm making is that you
Yeah,
can
there's so many
get a
different
small
things.
business,
Right.
make some
Big
income.
thing in being in sports is kids want highlight videos, and so my oldest made a business out of just going to football games and taking video and putting it all together and music to it and some graphics. And I mean, it's just crazy all the different things you can do just with a camera helping
And
people.
Mason,
Hmm.
he just published his first book.
Yeah, got his first book on how to the whole high school recruiting process.
What's the name of it? D1.
Yeah, if you want, I should have brought it with me, but I didn't. But
How dad are you?
but I'll bring it next
Mason,
time.
if you're hearing or listening to this,
I'll have
get
it
your
on here
dad
next
with
time.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm talking about. You can just
Right.
live outside of your box, even if you have a regular job or
Right.
it's a 40, 50 hours. If you want to do
Yep.
something,
Hmm.
it's easy enough to open up a small business.
Right.
You now have to report it. It's super simple, super easy. We can help with all that. So
Yep. Sure can.
as we constantly are plugging, we are basically cradle to grave,
Right.
all things financial at Phoenix Financial Group. We're here for you to bounce ideas off of and help with all aspects.
Right.
Yourself and any family members.
Right. We just want to make it easy because when you're sitting there trying to decide taxes, investing,
Medicare,
everything, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to go see 3 or 4 people. Not with us. Come in. We'll get you do some fact finding starting out and kind of visit with you, and then we come up with a plan for you. And then if we can't, we'll get you in front of the right professionals.
right? Health insurance for small businesses.
Right.
We're able to do that.
Estate planning, health insurance,
Medicare supplement. Filed plenty of Social Security. Kind of held their hand as they filed Social Security. Sat online with
small
them.
businesses, helping them open up their small business.
And getting the filing, and we've got, like as we had last episode, we have a great CPA that has joined forces with us. Great tax person.
Right.
So
Definitely.
again, we might not have all the answers, but we are in the professional circle where we can put you in touch with the right people or get the right answers for them. So that's it for today's episode.
That was fun.
Yeah, I love doing this. Hopefully it's touching places that, people that we might not otherwise run into and help them ease their nerves with finances for some reason. That seems to be a really soft subject and tender for people.
Right. Yes.
And
and if you want, go check our website out, phx.financial, and there's a lot of good stuff on there, some information for you. So.
We are on there almost, I would say, every week, but I would say every few days we've got stuff that we're adding, whether it's a blog post, new information you can click on. We have 2 workshops coming up, retirement and taxes.
Right.
I think those are 2 huge things.
Yeah.
And so we are going to educate on the taxes in retirement and how to get prepared for that, how to prepare for retirement.
Right.
I think that taxes are almost it should be on our mind all the time.
All the time.
And preparing for it. And so we do that with our clients. We run reports to find out which threshold. So if we need to take some never before money out of somewhere and get it taxed at a lower tax rate, we can do that. So we're going to educate on those different thresholds and the programs that we have and the importance of it. Because some people will be thrown into that other category, that higher tax bracket.
Yeah. I mean, there's people that have a pretty good nest egg and they're going to have a tax issue. So
it's like a bomb waiting.
We're working with people now to start, moving that money over to a Roth conversion or something like that to start helping them in, plan ahead.
Right. So. And the TCJA that's coming up, the Tax Cut and Job Act, that's going away. That's going to majorly affect people's taxes. It has to be discussed. And so we're going to do that in August. So on our website, you can see upcoming events. You can register for any of these workshops. They're in downtown Broken Arrow. We're going to hold them. One is a Thursday evening and one is a Saturday morning. So we're trying to accommodate people that may have stuff going on during the week. We're going to have it Saturday morning. And for people that have stuff going on at Saturdays, we're going to do it Thursday evening.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
jump on the
Good
website.
Opportunity.
Let us know if you have any questions. Please reach out to us. We can be found at our phone number is 844-476-7753.
Website's phx.financial. So give us a
Downtown
check it
Broken
out.
Arrow, Rose District. We're right above
Right.
Main Street Tavern.
Right.
Torture getting in that elevator at about 1 p.m. because of the smell of French fries. But other than that, we're easily accessible. So thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to hearing from you and talking with you soon.
Have a good week. Thank you.
Bye. In closing, you have been tuned in to Dime to Diamonds, sponsored by Phoenix Financial Group, where we provide full service solutions for all of your financial needs. We do this through organization and offering you everything in one place.